Now, Facebook and Twitter facing new accusations of censorship. Twitter locking out reporter Jason Whitlock after he criticized a Black Lives Matter co-founder. Facebook seeing a backlash for barring a New York Post story on that co-founder's property purchases, more than $3 million worth. And now Twitter has permanently banned James O'Keefe of Project Veritas over his posts about CNN. Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now with more. Joe, I mean, you read the whole thing about the New York Post being banned and about Jason Whitlock being banned over this Black Lives Matter co-founder who bought all this property in the Topanga Canyon. And you think, wow, this is accurate. This is accurate information. It is relevant. And it's really hard for them to bring up, oh, it was Russian disinformation. I mean, this is to a different level now, Joe.
Are you both having deja vu? Because when you said barring a New York Post story reporting on X, boy, this feels like October of 2020, doesn't it? And we saw how that turned out as far as the Hunter Biden laptop story. New York Post had accurate reporting that had no bearance to or resemblance in any way, shape, or form to Russian disinformation. But think about what's happened over the last 24 hours, Dana. Trace, Twitter suspends James O'Keefe when he's right in the middle of a week-long series of devastating videos to CNN. Because remember, this is an employee of CNN describing how the network has taken an activist role in terms of its coverage of Donald Trump or Black Lives Matter or COVID from a fear perspective. Then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all in lockstep censoring stories about Black Lives Matter from the Daily Mail, from the New York Post, as we mentioned. And then to your point, Trace, this story around Black Lives Matter, we're talking about 4 homes valued at $3 million. The head of New York City's Black Lives Matter chapter is calling for an investigation. How is that not a story? Black Lives Matter is a powerful entity. They raised more than $90 million just last year. They should not, therefore, be exempt from scrutiny or accountability, but big tech apparently has their back and says, nothing to see here. We're going to censor this. It is chilling, guys. Yeah,
Josh Hawley tweeted this, similar to what you said about October 2020. Facebook censoring the New York Post. Where have I seen this before? The Facebook oversight board that is looking into the banning of Donald Trump, for example. They're supposed to report pretty soon. I don't know, maybe Twitter will never change its mind. They don't have some sort of board like this. But if that board comes back and says, actually, it was wrong to ban Donald Trump, we recommend that you reinstate him. I mean, won't they have to do that?
I have a feeling that the Silicon Valley Politburo is going to rule against Donald Trump because, Dana, from what I see in terms of the stock price of Facebook and the stock price of Twitter and the revenues and the profits coming in, not many people are canceling their accounts. Yeah. Business is still very good. So they can get away from doing this because they are private entities. And until their bottom line gets impacted, they're going to keep doing exactly what they're doing. And then usually competition in this situation will take out a Facebook or a Twitter, or at least damage them. But we saw what happened when Parler was gaining steam in terms of being competitor. All of those companies, particularly Amazon also jumping on board, and Google made sure that Parler wasn't remotely the entity that it was before. So this is the game that's being played right now, tilted very much in favor of these existing big tech companies who aren't going to be giving up any power anytime soon. They're going to operate the way they want to, and that's really a shame.
And I think you make a great point there, Joe, that there really are no consequences for the Facebooks and Twitters of the world, at least so far. The question I would have is, what's their reasoning here? I mean, does the reasoning seem to you like it is rational and well thought out for blocking these stories?
Absolutely not, Trace. I mean, we see the censorship again of this Black Lives Matter story, which we just discussed, is a legitimate story. It just seems like they're trying to cater to what or who they think their audience is, who they think or what they think that their audience wants to see and what it doesn't see. And again, I would imagine then you look at all the donations that went to the Biden campaign in 2020 from Silicon Valley, overwhelmingly from the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Googles of the world, and some of those folks actually going to work for the Biden administration. So this is all a fixed fight. You can follow the money in this regard, and it ain't changing anytime soon until Section 230 is actually addressed. And I don't see anybody talking about that on Capitol Hill today or in the past couple of weeks for that matter.
No, we're talking about court packing now, Joe. We'll have to have you come back and tell us about the media coverage of that little issue. Have a good weekend. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe.